The game takes place in the 22nd century. Our world has run out of resources due to overpopulation and pollution. In order to help save our planet, we must recreate a balanced ecosystem. The world governments have finally decided on an action plan, and it starts with farming. Each player will create a farm that will contribute to the revitalization of our planet's health. There are 4 types of farms to choose from: the Green Thumb, Science Nerd, Dr. Dolittle, and the Biologist. Each farm will start with a small amount of funding money and plots of land. The best strategy to win the game is to work together and pull each other out of a spiraling world. With each achievement or event, you will receive a token reward as well as be able to plant a tree. Every time you buy from or help another player in some way, you get to plant a tree on the board. Whoever plants the most trees wins at the end of the game. You'll get to watch how the world flourishes with every turn. Ready to get started? To begin the game, each player selects a type of farm they would like to develop. Each card has information on the back about the type of farm and their capabilities. Gather your starting funds to make your initial purchases and build up your farm. Each player may choose one of the 4 tree designs to use in-game. The game progresses in 3 phases, working from the inside out of the board. Phase 1, each farmer should build up their farm supply and buy upgrades to create a solid foundation. Phase 2 should be focusing on helping your fellow farmers and planting more trees. Phase 3 is investing in the earth with your fellow farmers to plant trees while supplying its inhabitants with the food they need. At the end of each phase, each farmer receives rewards in tokens, trees, and upgrades. It is very important to know, though, that these rewards cannot be collected until each player has passed through the phase. Each player will roll the dice to determine who goes first, and then proceed to fight over who actually gets to go first. You will roll the dice and move your marker to the proper space. Spaces on the board will say either setback, progress, or plant a tree. These can either help or deter your progress on the board. Each turn, a player may sell 1 item of their stock to the general store or another player. Selling to another player will always be more beneficial than selling to the general store, because you get a tree whenever you sell to another player. Each turn you may buy upgrades or more necessary items for your farm, but each player must buy their support items on each turn. Progress and setback cards are just that. If you land on a progress space, you will draw 1 progress card to help your farm. An example of these would be something like a technology boom or half price at the general store. Each card will specify what benefits you get from it. The general store discount is just that, but other cards will either move you ahead on the board, give you tokens, or give you trees. If you land on a setback space, you will draw 1 setback card that will set you back either in supply, tokens, or progress on the board. An example of these cards would be events like natural disasters or an economic downturn. All players have the option to sell to the general store. However, players can gain more tokens and trees when they sell or trade with another player. Farm cards will specify how much farm items can be sold for to both the general store and other players. But if another farmer is willing to trade the equivalency, that's up to them. And finally, events will happen periodically on the board. Each event will provide benefits to all farmers. But these events can only happen once every player has moved past that event space. The object of the game is to collaborate as much as possible with your neighboring farmers. So to win, you must have the most trees planted. Every time you help a farmer, you may plant a tree on your corner of the board. Certain events on the board and progress cards will also give you trees. The game ends when everyone has completed Phase 3. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed our game.